Hi, I'm California Blogger, and today we're going to be doing a book review of one of my favorite books. It's Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. It's pretty much, if you're not familiar, it's a book about manifesting, and I really liked it because I think it's a great tool for anybody that wants to manifest anything in their life, whether it be like a new relationship, a better job, more money, a new home, whatever it is. And I'm just gonna go through the chapters. I'm gonna tell you what each chapter is about, and I'm gonna kind of talk about it so you can have an overview of the whole book in case you're considering reading this, and I do recommend it. Before I get into the book, I just want to remind you guys to please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed yet. And if you have any questions or you want to talk about the book further when it's done, just leave a comment in the comment section. So let's get started. This book actually has a lot of chapters. It's only just a little bit over 300 pages, but it has 22 chapters. So and the 22nd chapter is broken down into 22 separate parts, which is 22 processes that they kind of talk about as far as manifesting. It gives you 22 exercises at the end of the book, and that is also in chapter 22. So the book is, it's like a decent size, but it's really broken down into a lot of different sections. So the first chapter is the power of feeling good. You only hear what you are ready to hear. So that chapter kind of talks about your vibration as a person. If you feel good, if you're vibrating and thinking good thoughts, those thoughts are going to manifest into your life. If you're thinking negative thoughts, you're going to manifest negative thoughts into your life. We are keeping chapter 2. We are keeping our promise to you. We are reminding you of who you are. So this chapter pretty much talks about just reminding yourself, because as human beings, we all have like our good sides and our bad sides. We have our bad days and our good days. And the person you are when you're happiest and you're feeling good, that is your true self. So this chapter kind of talks about reminding that yourself about who you are. We're not this terrible person we are when we get pissed off or angry or have a bad day. We're the person we are when we're happy and we're shining and we're vibrating at our highest level. Okay, chapter 3. You do create your own reality. The basis of your life is absolute freedom. No one else can create in your experience. You are eternal being in physical form. So this chapter talks about how you might have like a negative Nancy or, a bad boss or somebody who's just really working on hindering your happiness, and you may feel like they have some power or some control over you. This person, whoever they are, has no power or control over you unless you allow that. If you focus on them, if you accept their negative beliefs and you allow those thoughts in your own mind, then you are assisting them in creating negativity in your life. And when you think bigger than that, you are bigger than that. So that's what that chapter talks about. Chapter 4, how can I get there from here? Well-being is lined up outside your door. You are a physical extension of the energy source, the evolutionary value of your personal preference. So this chapter talks about what we personally prefer, how it's meant for us. We prefer those things for a reason. We prefer them because we're meant to have them. And to think that you're being selfish or just a bad person to want to go after something is just a really preposterous belief. Like, you are meant to have all the good things in your life. And it talks about that. As far as getting from here to there, it kind of goes into, once you put your mind towards a certain goal and you focus on it, you just continue to choose steps that work towards that goal, and you're going to get there eventually. And when you're vibrating correctly, when you're focused, when you're happy, all those things together. A consistent formula gives you consistent results. You are a vibrational being in a vibrational environment. Your emotion as vibrational interpreters. So basically, back to what I was saying, when you start moving in a certain direction and you have your focus there, you're going to get there eventually. You are a vibrational being in a vibrational environment. Everything, whether it's music, whether it's color, it all has a vibration. Our emotion has vibration. So when we vibrate at a certain level, we're really bringing in all these different things into our physical reality. And it's not just a belief, it's really science. So when you get down into it, and sounds crazy, but we do affect our environment by what we're vibrating. Okay, so chapter 6, the law of attraction. The most powerful law in the universe. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. When you desire and beliefs are a vibrational match. Rediscover the art of allowing your natural well-being. So this part, you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So if I sit here and I go, oh gosh, like look at all these bills. Like I have so much to pay for. I have no money. How am I ever going to pay for this? I'm always going to be broke. When I start thinking those thoughts, when anybody starts thinking those thoughts, you might be thinking like, well, I'm focused on what I want. Like I'm having a problem with this money situation. Like I'm thinking about it. But in reality, you're actually creating more of what you think about. So if you're thinking thoughts like, oh, I'm having financial hardships, this is a problem, this is terrible, you will, like attracts like. So you're going to bring more of that type of reality into your situation. Even though we all go through hardships, even though we all might suffer financially, we have to focus on the good instead of the negative. We have to think thoughts like, at least I have a job, or if I don't have a job, I know I'm going to get one, or there is money coming in and there is a way, that I can make more, or I can do more, or I'm going to handle these bills. Like it's all going to be fine. I'm going to handle these bills and I'm going to make even more. And eventually, these bills are not even going to be an issue for me. We have to think thoughts like that. Those are thoughts that manifest abundance. Thinking thoughts that we don't have enough or we don't know how we're going to make it manifests scarcity. Manifests us having less. Okay, so chapter 7. You're standing on the leading edge of thought. If you can desire it, the universe can produce it. Without asking, you will receive no answer. You are in the perfect position to get there from here. So basically, you can desire it, the universe can produce it. If you're thinking about it, it's meant for you. Don't sit here and say like, wow, I really would like, I don't know, like a $500,000 house, but obviously that's ridiculous. If you're thinking that's what you want, if that house is out there, if your dream house or whatever, dream vacation, dream person, and you're thinking about them, it's because you're supposed to have it. So stop these like negative thoughts of like, no, I'm not supposed to, this is ridiculous, I don't deserve it. We all deserve to be happy. We deserve that as human beings. And you might say like, well, what if it's somebody that's a bad person? I don't believe anybody is 100% bad. I feel like we're all human beings going through things. We all want and deserve love. And that's something that may be more challenging for one individual than another, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve it. And it doesn't mean as people that we can't grow and become better and have all the gifts that life is and the universe is here to give to us. Okay, so now you are a vibrational transmitter and receiver. That is chapter 8. Your powerful beliefs were once gentle thoughts. The longer you think thoughts, the stronger they become. Your attention to it invites it in. So this chapter talks about if I'm like, okay, I really want to go on an exotic vacation to Spain. And I think about Spain and I'm reading about Spain and think about like, wow, this is going to be the best outfit for when I go to Barcelona, and I'm looking at restaurants and I'm not thinking about like, well, I don't have the money in my bank. I'm not having those kinds of things. Thoughts. I'm thinking about all the fun I'm gonna have and how great it's gonna be. When I radiate this type of vibration, the universe starts rearranging itself to make this a reality, because the universe doesn't decipher whether something's true or not. All it deciphers is the vibration. If the vibration matches, the universe will produce. Anyways, that's what this book says. So if you don't agree with that, then you just don't agree with this book, and I'm just relaying the message. Okay, so chapter 9, the hidden value behind your emotional reactions. Emotions are indicators of your point of attraction. Emotions are indicators of your alignment with source energy. Use your emotions to feel your way back to well-being. So if you're feeling sad or you're feeling mad, and you sit with yourself and you say, okay, what am I angry about? What am I sad about? You might say, well, I'm angry because somebody cut me off when I was driving and that really pissed me off. But it's like, at the end of the day, you know, you have to think about these kinds of things. Is somebody cutting you off that serious? Like, you're really, really mad because somebody cut you off. Or maybe there's something a little bit more deep-seated. Maybe you're mad because you feel like you don't have enough time to get where you're at. And maybe you don't feel like you have enough time because you work too much. Or maybe you feel angry because you feel like that person really disrespected you. And maybe you're a person that feels that you don't get enough respect. And maybe that might stem from something from your childhood. Anyways, when we go backwards and we start to really dissect where are these emotions coming from, that's when we are able to deal with those emotions and talk to ourselves, you know, give ourselves a pep talk, like, hey, you know what, like maybe something really bad happened when you were younger and you have this feeling of like you're not getting respected enough, but you are a good person, you're a respectful person, and if this person, that person doesn't respect you, guess what? I respect you, or you respect you. You know, and then you start thinking thoughts like, it's fine if this person, maybe they're in a hurry, maybe they have a bad day, it's not a big deal. Anyways, back to more positive thinking. So that's what this chapter is about when you talk about your emotions are indicators of your point of attraction. Because if you're feeling like really insulted or really disrespected or really like you're running out of time, that goes back to you're manifesting that reality. You feel so disrespected, nobody respects you, and you keep thinking that, you're gonna keep attracting people around you, situations that make you feel like that. You always feel like you don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Now this person cut me off. You are going to continue to attract those kinds of situations and experiences to your life. Okay, so chapter 10, the 3 steps to whatever you want to be, do, or have. Every subject is 2 subjects, wanted and not wanted. So that goes back to kind of what I was saying. Be very observant of your thoughts. When you think you're manifesting something, are you thinking about the fact that you don't have it? Or are you thinking about the fact that you're grateful that you will have it? Because those are 2 very different thoughts. They manifest opposite things. So you need to be very mindful about the kind of thoughts that you have about yourself and your own life. Okay. With practice, you will become a joyous, deliberate creator. It's not about controlling your thoughts. It's about guiding your thoughts. So obviously I'm telling you, you know, you can't think these negative thoughts. You have to think positive thoughts to be able to manifest. And this chapter is pretty much about how it says with practice. That's not something that's so easy. So don't get down on yourself when you're like, God, I told myself I told myself that I was not going to have any negative thoughts. And here I am thinking negative thoughts back to back to back. And it's like, that happens. It's natural. It's a habit, you know, and it's not going to be overnight that you're just going to have all these positive thoughts. But just once you start to decide to be aware, you're going to notice these negative thoughts and you're going to be like, oh shoot, I'm doing it again. And you're not going to try to control yourself. You're just going to be like, well, let's think of something better. And that's why it says, it's not about controlling thoughts. It's about guiding thoughts. So that's what that chapter is about. Chapter 12, your emotional set points are within your control. It is impossible to control conditions that others have created. So this chapter pretty much just talks about you want to manifest for yourself and keep your eye on the prize and focus on yourself. You don't need to worry about, what Betsy Sue's doing down the street and it would be so much better, and start focusing. Your energy needs to be focused on yourself. You're not going to manifest for other people. You manifest for you. You can be a positive person in other people's life. You can be a supportive person, but you don't want to start focusing your energy on other people's outcomes, because you cannot say what's best for somebody else. That's for someone else to do. Okay. Chapter 13, allowing your feelings to be your guide. An empty feeling is telling you something important. It's back to what I was saying before. If you feel sad, if you feel angry, those feelings are communicating with you. They're actually communicating. It's your emotions telling you something's wrong, something's missing. And it's your job to listen to those emotions, not to react, not to lash out, not to continue the cycle with negative thinking, but to just sit down with yourself and say, why am I feeling this way? Like, what do I need to do? What's wrong? Chapter 14, some things you knew before you arrived. If I know so much, how come I'm not successful? You may already know about manifesting. You may already know about the power of negative and positive thinking, and you may still not have what you want or be where you want to be. And a lot of people are going to say, well, why not? What am I doing wrong? And the book basically says, if in any way there's a part of you that doesn't 100% believe, you're not going to manifest into your reality. You could be saying, I have abundance, I have abundance, I have abundance. But if there's one part of you that's like, even to the smallest level, like, I don't think I'm going to make it. You have to believe 100% wholeheartedly. And that takes work, back to the previous chapter. But it's obviously doable. It's just about training your thoughts and training your mind and getting to the place where you want to be. Chapter 15, you are a perfect yet expanding being in a perfect yet expanding world, in a perfect yet expanding universe. And this just kind of talks about how we're all connected, how we're all one with the universe, and we're all here, like I said, to be loved, to experience life, and it's meant to be a positive thing. It's not meant to be negative, and negative situations and aspects a lot of times are just created by our own thoughts. Okay. Chapter 16, you are co-creating with a magnificently diverse universe, very similar to chapter 15. Chapter 17, where you are and where do you want to be? Your greatest gift to give is your happiness. And that chapter talks about when you create the life that you want for yourself and you're happy and you have everything that you want, that's when you get to be a better person, a better friend, a better partner, a better individual in society. And you're not being selfish to want to live the life that you dream of. You're meant to, and that is when you are your best, and that's when you can give your most. So it's just an important thought to remember. Chapter 18, you can gradually change your vibrational frequency. So back to what I was saying before, it might take time to learn how to focus on positive thoughts, but you can do it gradually. Chapter 19, only you can know how to feel about you. Life is always emotion, so you cannot be stuck. And that chapter talks about how we're in an ever-changing world. Seasons, just days, months, years, like things are always changing. So there's no way you could be stuck in the same position today as you are next year, because the whole world's going to be different next year. And let's see. Chapter 20, trying to hinder another's freedoms always costs you your freedom. Back to focusing on yourself. If you are focusing on somebody else and what they should be doing, you're not focusing on your process of manifesting. So that's just going to work against you, and it's not helpful to anybody. Chapter 21, you are only 17 seconds away from 68 seconds to fulfillment. Your uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. And that kind of just talks about there's part of the process that happens in the background and vibrating at a positive frequency, we have to let go of the reins a little bit, not worry about the process so much, and just more believe and have faith. Chapter 22, the different degrees of your emotional guidance scale. And this chapter talks about fear, it talks about resentment, it talks about jealousy, and it talks about the different levels that you are vibrating at with these different emotions and how you can work up the scale to get to the highest vibration, which is love. And when you're vibrating at love, that is when you are at the vibration of creating and manifesting. And then the last chapter, 22, processes to help you achieve what you now remember. And like I had said in the beginning of the video, these are 22 different exercises. I'm not going to get into all of them because it's a lot that you can do to manifest. And I really liked that part of the book, because when it comes to books about manifesting or empowerment books, it always talks about thoughts or ideas, and it doesn't always give you exercises. And the fact that this book gives 22 exercises, I think, is really great, because one exercise doesn't work for another person. So there's 22 different exercises in here. I'm doing a couple of them right now, and I'm in the process, and I really like them. I think they're helping me. Overall, just love the book. I think it's really good for anybody that's trying to get their life to the next level, anybody that needs help just with positive thinking, needs exercises to help them get ahead in life. I just think it was great. So definitely recommend this. I know I went through the whole book, but when you read it, it really gets way more in depth with the just the ideas and the theories that I shared in this video. So I think obviously this video is a good help if you're not really a reader, but if you have the patience, I definitely recommend reading it. I think it can make a big difference in your life. So anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for coming along with me for another adventure. This time it was a book adventure. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you've read the book, or you have any feedback that you want to talk about, or any other book recommendations, or any other books that you would like to see me do a review on. So thanks again for coming, guys. Bye.